the Art Social, episode 10. Yep, you heard me, 10. Can you believe it already? I can't believe it. It feels like we just started this thing and we're 10 episodes in, guys. That's amazing. I just want to say thank you, because you know what? I am past 50 subscribers. I am past 70 followers on my Facebook page. That's just unbelievable. I can't express how happy that makes me, how much joy it brings me to just bring this passion of mine to life for you guys. That's just wonderful, and I'm so happy to be doing this for you guys. So I just want to start talking to you guys about what we have planned for today. So as you noticed probably last week, I posted a video called Learning with Ellie. So in that segment, we talked about different techniques of painting, and I mentioned my favorite, and that is abstract art. Yep. So let me just talk a little bit more about abstract art. You can do anything. The canvas is a big white open space for you to do whatever you want on it. Thick paint, light paint, a bunch of lines, a bunch of dots, a bunch of anything, whatever you want. That is what makes abstract art so unbelievably fun for me, because your imagination can take you anywhere, and this abstract art can end up anything in the end. So today, you guessed it, we're doing an abstract art. So we're gonna start with my palette. So with our colors today, you can literally choose anything you want, okay? Anything, really. Look at the amount of colors that I have for myself today. So I have a bunch of different purplish pinks and some bluish teal, and I've got white, black, and gold, okay? So those are my awesome painting colors that I'm gonna be using today. Second thing, obviously, a canvas. Have yourself a canvas ready. I'm gonna be using an 11 by 14 canvas. You can use whatever size you want, because you can do anything with this. You can put as much detail as you want in it. This is your painting. It's gonna be personalized to what you wanna do with it. And that is what is so special about this one, okay? So another thing that you're going to need, some paintbrushes. Have your usual large, medium, small brush for detailing. I will also have some painter's tape. So the green tape that you use when you're painting and you want to make straight lines, I have some of that today. I'm going to be using that. I also have a very special tool that I'm going to be using today. I don't usually have this in my art supplies, because I'm not huge with painting and then adding some oil markers, but I have a marker today. It's called, I borrowed it from my brother because my brother's very artistic too, and he loves oil markers and stuff like that. So he makes big bold lettering and does lettering like that. But he told me that Pilot is a very good brand for markers, and it's a very small tip. I don't know if you can see that right there. Very small tip of gold, and that's just gonna help me with the details I wanna do in the end. So if you have one, you have one. If you don't, you don't. If you wanna borrow one, go ahead. My brother told me he bought this one at Walmart. So you can go to Walmart, you can go to Michael's, anything like that. You can go to the dollar store and find some markers that are different metallic colors. That's up to you. Go ahead and get a very maybe silvery or bright or even neon, or like I said, anything. You could do anything with this painting because it's abstract art, okay? So I want you to get all of your stuff ready. And then after that, we're going to move along to the abstract art that I'm going to be making. Make sure you have your paintbrushes, make sure you have your paints, make sure you have your water with your cup, Make sure that you have a palette to put some paint on. Make sure, oh, another tool that we're gonna be using, and I'll have it all written below for you anyway, painting knives. So my painting knives look like they're a little full of paint right now, but that's okay because the paint stains on it, unless you wash them properly. So this is a painting knife. So it's just like a triangular kind of diamond shape, and it's flat like this. If you don't have any, you can use a knife, like a butter knife or something like that. You can use a debit card, an old debit card, an old gift card. That would work very well too. Or you could just use your paintbrush to slab that paint on, okay? But this helps put like thick layers of paint on it. So be patient today because there's going to be a lot of periods where you're going to have to let your painting dry fully before you go to the next step. So this is a painting that's probably going to take a little bit longer for you to do, or a few days for you to do if you decide to wait a day or so in between the coats. Okay, so how about we get started on this instead of listening to me jibber jabber all day long, and let's see what we can do with our canvas. All right. Hey guys, okay, so as you can see here, I've already started, and I'm gonna let you know what I've done. So as you can see, I painted the middle like a pink with a little bit of white, and I just blended it in and I let it dry. And the way I made it very straight was by using this painter's tape, and I had put the tape on and I painted inside of it, and I removed the tape, and it was beautiful and straight. So now the next part that I wanted to do was I took some more tape. I put it, because once this is dry, you can put the tape on top of the paint. Okay, so I did that, but if you can see, there's a little, it's dark here, that's where the paint is underneath, and then it's lighter here. This is part of the white canvas. So I did that on purpose on the top and on the bottom so that we can paint down below here, and when we take the tape off, there's going to be our color down below, a line of white, and then our pink. And then there's going to be a line of white, and then our paint. Okay? So first things first, you put your painter's tape in 2 spots here in 2 straight lines. You paint whatever color you want in the middle. Make sure it's a lighter color so that your designs on top of it are going to show. So I picked like a light pink. You can pick a light blue. You could pick white. You can keep it white. It's up to you. But put a color here. Let it dry. Once it's dry, put that tape just over top of it and leave that white gap there. And we're going to do painting on the top here and painting on the bottom here. Okay? So the paints that I'm going to use for the top are, actually, I'm going to do this. The paints I'm going to do on the top are going to be like a maroon purple and a deep purple. And we're going to have these colors at the top. And then I'm going to add the blue and like a teal blue at the bottom. Okay? So this is all dry. This is all set up. Once you've got that done, we're going to move on to what you're going to do with the bottom and the top. Okay? All right, so as you can see from here, I have layered the colors that I wanted. So I have the blue and teal up here, and I have a line going through like this, and I differentiate the colors as I go. So I alternate the colors, and I did the same down here for the maroon, purplish red, and the purple. So I have these both down here. I'm going to be using, personally, I want to use my painting knives. So if you don't have any painting knives, you can use, it's kind of hard to use butter knives, but you can try if they're flat. But these have like a little bit of an arch to them, which makes it easier to use. You can use an old debit card, an old credit card, an old gift card, anything like that. Maybe your parents or a grown-up has some that they're not using anymore, you can ask them. A piece of hard plastic would work. It's up to you what you want to use. And your last resort, you can use a paintbrush. You can blend this in with a paintbrush if you wanted to. Just go very lightly over top of it because we want really thick paint. So last week we talked about Painterly being a thick brush stroke motion on your board, which would be taking a brush like this, and you would very lightly be brushing that in just so that you can see all the strokes of your brush. Remember, that's called Painterly. So you can put Painterly and abstract together and that would work. Okay? So next I want to take my painting knives because that's the tool I am choosing. And I'm taking two because I don't have the time to clean in between during this video. So I'm going to use one for the top, one for the bottom. Okay? So I did the reverse of what I said I was going to do. I was going to do the pink at the top and the purple at the top and put the greens at the bottom, but I changed my mind. Really, it's abstract art. You can do whatever. You could put whatever colors you want anywhere and it'll work. So I'm going to start with the top, and I'm going to use one of my painting knives and we're going to start spreading. So I put the flat part down like this and I just start spreading like that. And you're going to start picking up some of that color, and that's okay. Push it back down. Big, thick marks. Okay. And now I'm going to just do that and slide it back down. You do not want to go into that pink, okay? I'm not trying to get into the pink because I'm going to have a design I'm going to do, okay? So I'm going to try and fill that in, go back and forth, and I'm going to push that in just like that. So until you get all the white done, okay? So back and forth just like that, up and down, wipe some of that paint off. Look how thick you can see that knife swipe. It blends the color in but gives it a choppy look. I think it looks really cool. So I have a lot there, so I'm going to take some more. I'm going to go like this and I'm going to put that over here. I don't need to add no more paint. I've got plenty here to work with. Okay, there you go. All my white is covered. I have a wonderful design going on. You can see the strokes of the painting knife just up and down, and the colors all mixed in. Okay, so now, oh, I still have some white up here. There, like that. Okay, so once you have the top done, you can move on to the bottom one and do the same exact thing, and I will see you once I'm done that part, okay? Hey guys, so as you can see, I finished the bottom. I did the top on the last clip and I finished up the bottom. So this is very, very wet. You want to make sure that you don't touch this tape or remove it until you are absolutely done with drying this. This can take a day to dry. So that's what I'm going to be getting it to do, is I'm going to let it dry for about a day. But before I let this dry overnight, what I'm going to do is I want to add an accent. So I want to add a color that's going to make the other colors pop. And for me, that is a white. So I have, and as you can see, my hands are very dirty because that's what happens when you paint. But I have my white and I have my painter's knife, and I'm just gonna take some of that blue off. Just gonna wipe it on my cardboard, and I'm going to take the back of my painting knife. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I got these painting knives off Amazon and they're wonderful. But you can get painting knives, I believe I've seen them at the dollar store, and you can get them at Michael's for sure. So if you wanted to look into that, you can do that. So for now, I took the back of the knife and I put a little bit of white, and this was the one that I used on my blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna give it a little touch here and here and there. And then I'm going to very gently mix that in, and that's about all I want to do. Okay, I don't want it to be blended right in. I want to have that white that just pops out like that. I think that looks really cool. And you press very lightly with your painting knife so that you don't spread all inside. You're just kind of putting that paint layered onto the other thick paint. So it looks really cool. So I'm gonna move along and we're going to do this with my other painting knife for the bottom. So here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna put some of the white on the edge here, and I'm going to put some there and throughout the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to very slightly go down. I am pushing oh so lightly on it. There you go. I think that looks absolutely wonderful, and it's very thick. You can see the white layering over top of the purple that is layering over top of the red, the maroonish purple. I think it looks absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's dry. So we're going to leave this overnight, and I'm going to check back on it tomorrow night. So that means that it's going to take 24 hours to make sure that it is completely dry. And I want to make sure this happens because when I remove this green tape, I don't want the paint to leak onto my pink, okay? So we want to make sure this is completely dry before we move on to the next step tomorrow, okay? So make sure you guys follow these steps just to kind of get an idea on how to work with painting knives, or that credit card, debit card, gift card you have, anything, any tool that helped you do this today. And when we're done with that, we'll be able to move along and see what we're going to do as a design in the middle. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna catch you guys in the next clip, which is going to be recorded 24 hours later. Make sure that's dry. Hi guys. All right, so it's been 24 hours and my painting is completely dry. So as you can see, I have my stuff ready to go for my next step, and I'm gonna show you what that is in just a second. But I just wanna bring it closer up so you can see these colors and textures are all mixed up on the board, and because it's all dry now, it's kind of an up and down. You can feel the thickness of the paint. It's absolutely stunning. It looks beautiful. It's all dry. You've got some pinks, some whites, some purples, some maroon red, and then you've got all kinds of different blues and whites and teals up top, and I got my simple pink in the middle. Okay, so the next part that we're going to work on today is the middle part. So I'm going to make a kind of design that's gonna pop. So I'm gonna use black, and then we're gonna accent it with some white and some gold all around. Okay, so I have my black here, and I'm not gonna grab a palette or anything because I'm just gonna press down my black right in the middle right here. So I put a little glob there, and I'm just gonna let my hand do the work and just see where it takes me, okay? So we're going to take the brush and just make a design that you like, but don't make it too big where it covers most of your stuff. I'm just gonna do something small in the middle and maybe have little parts that go up into the blue and down into the reds and purples, and go from there. So let's see what my brush and my mind comes up with. Okay, so now that I let the majority of my painting dry, I don't need to worry about the middle right now. The middle's still a little bit wet, but that's okay because I put the tape where it's not wet. So this next part here is basically I am making a design of a triangle. As you can see, I have the tape shaped like a triangle, But the only part that I'm going to be painting is going to be the inside part here, going down, left, and back up, okay? So this part here is all I'm painting. You can do whatever shape you want, whatever design you want. I chose a triangle, and it was a little bit difficult to do this because you need to use your scissors, and you need to line it up properly. So if you need an adult to help you with this part, don't be ashamed. That's perfectly fine. It was a little tricky, so I would suggest you ask for help for this. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be doing is, this is going to be my gold color. So I'm gonna input the gold over here, and we're gonna see what it looks like when I have all that filled in. So I'm going to use my gold. You could use whatever color you want here, whatever accent color you want. I'm just gonna put like a little dab inside here. Make sure not to get outside of that painter's tape, okay? Once I have that all on like that, I'm going to spread it and finish up the gold inside my triangle, okay? So let's check this in the next clip and see what it looks like when I have all the gold done. Okay, so as you can see, by removing the tape, it left a beautiful looking triangle. I don't have the tip showing here, but that's okay, because remember, abstract, you could do anything with it. So I want to add one last detail to my painting, and that's going to be with this golden pen. You can use paint with a very, very tiny brush if you want. That's up to you. This is a gold Pilot extra fine like oil paint pen. So I gotta shake it to get some paint in the end of it. And I'm just gonna add little details around the board. So take a look at what I do with this, and you can copy it if you want. You can do your own. You can add some design however you'd like, but take a look at how it looks and what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. I've decided to add a last touch to my painting. I really like what I did with my golden pen. I added little details in the corners, at the ends of my black. I put little dots here and there. I traced some lines. I used my imagination, and I put stuff wherever I felt would be really cool looking. So the next thing, as you can see, I am holding a toothbrush. So I just picked up this toothbrush at the dollar store. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just want something that I can use to flick and splash some paint on it. So I think that this painting needs a little bit more, and I want to add some like I've used this technique before to make stars in the night sky. So I'm going to dip this paintbrush very lightly in white paint, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to spray some white all over the board, and that's it. I'll be done. So I've used my trusty palette and put a little bit of paint there. So I'm just going to lightly dip in the paint. There you go. And whether it splashes big or small, that's fine. I think I'll like it no matter what. So let's go. Oh, there you go. So it's adding little tiny white dots to my painting, and I'm gonna add more paint to my brush. Oh yeah, see? I got these really awesome white splashes. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go closer to the board. Awesome, you see that right there? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna add some more white paint to my palette and keep doing this until I feel satisfied. And here it is, my friends. This is my end result. This is what I really, really like about it. I really like that I used some splash in the painting. As you can see right there, there's big splash marks. Big splash marks there. I just went crazy. I just added so much white, just splashed with my toothbrush, and it gave it this wonderful end result. Isn't that just fabulous? I can't wait till this dries and I can put it up in my house. It looks beautiful. All right, so I'll see you guys in the end clip, okay, guys? Hey guys, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. Abstract art has got to be my favorite painting technique. I hope you guys had so much fun. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, share, check out my Facebook page, and don't forget, stay creative. Bye guys.